Can you see? That's going to be amazing. If Trevor signs off on it, so that I can use the video of his team and make that a story ad that's targeted to, just like John says to do,
Yeah.
CEO, executive people, and I'll further target it just to Edmonton, because people in Edmonton, all the staff told me they make fun of us Toronto people. Like, they don't trust us. They think we're kind of stupid, actually. Right? Because they're really good people there in Edmonton, and Toronto people tend to, act arrogant, like they're better than Edmonton people, kind of thing.
Right.
So the fact that they're like, I would probably never get into a corporation in Edmonton for that reason, but because I'm going to be endorsed by an Edmonton company, and the message is going to come as if it's like coming from, here's, one of our, we love Edmonton or something, to Edmonton businesses or something.
That's amazing. Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. So yeah, let's listen to the Facebook ad training then. I guess I'll take my screen share off now.
Yeah, let me get
Let me
my...
just do this message for Trevor. Hey, Trevor, I'm just like having a morning session with Samina, and it just spontaneously, I just sidetracked it and was just showing Samina, I just got to do this right now, and then we'll get into some Facebook ad training. Every day we're doing Facebook ad training. So guess what? Whatever we're doing, I'll give you a little bit of, in case you want to watch it at the end of what I'm going to say to you here. So yeah, I just was looking at the writing by accident that John had done on his first draft of an email from you to the people, and I'm looking at it now and I'm seeing it differently. I'm like, oh my God, this could be an email that we edit to a Facebook story, like a Facebook post that I could do with your permission to insert, your staff video, the one you already gave me permission that I'm using already, but to put it inside the story of the Facebook ad. So if you could help me, get some feedback to John as soon as possible. In fact, even maybe to myself on the email he wrote, anything if you want to just say, yeah, go ahead with it, Scott, no problem. Or it's good, but take this out, or, let's get on a Zoom call and talk about it. And then John will listen to our Zoom call of what you're not feeling comfortable with, and then he'll edit it. And then I see this Facebook ad doing like extremely well. I'd actually target people that have similar businesses to you. That are in the exact same business, ideally, all over, Canada. And if that's okay with you, maybe just exclude Edmonton businesses, like, so that I don't ever take on a client who ends up being your direct competitor. Like, I never want to help one of your competitors, steal money from you or make money from you. So as long as we have the understanding that you got to help me with, who do I target? And, so there's no risk of me taking, or I could just tell you anytime I get a lead from anything, I could tell you who the lead is. And then you could tell me if there's any conflict of interest issues that might come up, and, put a little bit of a shitty wedge in our friendship. So yeah, that's it. Okay, Samita, that's it. Do screen share. I'll edit that and send it off to him. Oh my God. Trevor just says, we get my book. I just got present to. Yeah. If I have John edit that story so that it's like, it's more clear what industry this is, so that I just figure out what the exact niche is. And maybe you and I could go through it on a Facebook Zoom call, actually, because that would benefit you, right? Because it would show you the most important part of Facebook ads that, hardly anybody knows, which is that you got to start out with the targeting first before you even think of like even creating an ad. And the targeting, you have to understand what targeting options are available on Facebook, because it's not like unlimited. You have to think a certain way and see if you can find that right niche. And it's all about getting the right niche. Yeah. So construction industries that are not in the province of Alberta, maybe that's the search, Trevor. How about if I, whatever the key words you think I should use, maybe tell me what they are, but then I make it so that when I do the Facebook ad, I show it into all provinces in Canada except for Quebec, because I don't want to deal with French people, just because I don't speak the language, and with the exception of Alberta, just so there's no possible competition anywhere in the whole province. So let me know. That feels good. All right. This is going to, so this will work only if I tell the story as if like, here's what we did for a company, and then I say Trevor's industry in such a way that anybody that's in Trevor's industry, any client, would understand exactly what that meant exactly. So people are like, oh, wow, this guy did this for this business that's in exactly the same freaking niche market industry. They do flooring and tiles and, or, you know, whatever I'm supposed to put in there, Trevor. Yeah, go ahead, Samina.
Upload an image by just clicking this and picking one off of your computer. But let's say I want to hit this ad, 1200 by 68. Boom. So I hit that. Hit confirm. Okay. So now I have this. Hold on. Now I have this right here as my image. So let's say my website URL, which would be the landing page.
Let's pause this.
What, you know,
how about for this time, you guys stop this share? That is so basic. It's like it just is of no value to me. Let me pick something that's more directly related, because we know how to do ads. That's not the issue right now.
Okay.
In fact, instead of watching a training, Samina, let me actually train you in what I know now that you don't from applying it. And let me just show you. Yeah, let's just apply it. Let's go create a target niche audience, another one for you. And by this time you can see me do it, so you can do it for yourself. That would be way more useful than watching a training. Okay? So share screen, hold on. Yeah, perfect. So I want to show you how I do this. And why don't you hit start record on your thing and tell me when you've done that?
Okay.
You started recording?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So, and feel free to take notes, eh? Like, I think maybe you might want to take some notes just on key points here. So the first thing I do is, you don't have to do a note. What I just learned as of yesterday, the first thing I now do is what I should say as of yesterday, right? Is I don't even think about doing the ad until I create the audience. So I'm going to go in here first. In fact, look, before I do that, I'm going to show you the audience that I created for you here in this ad. It is, well, I could do it this way too, audiences. Check this out. This is your first custom audience. I called it High Anxiety Canada. It has 160,000 people in it. And now we're going to see the parameters that I did, which by clicking edit. Okay, so I chose anybody in Canada, basically any age, all, but this time I chose English, right? I chose the language. That's what I did with my ad too, making sure that for sure I'm not getting anyone who's there, who doesn't have a, native language English. And then I chose some things, see, high anxiety. Now let me tell you why I chose it. I'm gonna hit stop, because I type in the word anxiety. Anxiety. And look at, that's all that shows up. So this is a list of 1 million called Anxiety and Depression Association of America. And then there's, see, that could be its own target audience. See, that's what I'm saying, Samia. This is what I've learned. It's what Dan Henry said when he was talking about his success that made him that million, is that he had 146 ad sets for one ad. I'm going to say this over and over again right now for myself, right? I got it after all my practice. I changed my approach now, and I'm just going ad sets. So you don't want to keep changing the ad set. That's what I've been doing. Just keep changing that one ad set. No, you got to make the effort of just getting like 100 different ones and finding out which one is the real target market that the people really are receiving your message.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to let you pick it. This is going to be yours, or at least it's going to be your first one.
So did you come up with the name high anxiety, or it was just in there?
No, because that was the tag. That's the one I chose. When I type anxiety, I only got 3 choices: high anxiety, UK anxiety, and anxiety and depression.
Yeah. So it was already.
So, right. So what you want to do is, or at least I think, is you don't want to pick all 3. You just want to do one and see what happens.
Okay.
Right? So you can see which one is performing better. That's what I would think, even though you can check it in analytics as well.
Yeah.
Because if you're looking for 100, right? 100 different ones to test. Like I just found my hot one just now, just today. It's proven. Instead of $2.50 a message, I'm now down to 30 cents a message because I just targeted differently yesterday.
How about one of the ad sets can be women with anxiety issues?
Yeah, that's what I originally did. But because the audience is so small, I ended up broadening it to men and women because it turned out it was mostly 70% of the people were women anyway that liked the thing, that like it. So I just figured throw them all in there since your list is too small.
Yeah.
But that's what he would probably do. But you're right. He would probably test it just like that. But hold on. I'm looking for more of the interests. So let's leave this alone. Now, let's create a second one now. So the next one, we'll highlight this. Does it allow you to duplicate it? No. Okay, so just create a new audience. So go create, and you go to saved audiences. You're going to go saved audiences. And, well, Sabina, let's try this. Let's try something completely different right now. Because that's easy. You just do panic, and you can play with that. What if we tried to pick parameters right now to do a corporate stuff? What if we had a corporate offer that Scott and Samina are putting out, some type of a corporate offer?
Yeah.
Together, like, so it's not just, yeah.
Maybe something like performance anxiety or something specific.
Well, that's a sexual term, actually, performance anxiety. So no, but I know what you mean. Yeah, I know what you mean.
But yeah, like,
well, let's step back. Let's step back before we get into this. Let me ask you a question.
mm-hmm.
If it wasn't anxiety that we're doing, right?
Yeah.
What would you like another offer to be? Because we're going to end up doing it like another offer in addition to anxiety.
Well, maybe it's the same thing, but it's a bit worry. That's been the common thing, worry.
No, I mean something that might appeal more to, people that are more like a Trevor. Like, in other words, we're making available the exact same anxiety, worry kind of thing, but you don't have to say that it's the Integrity Choices programs addressing the anxiety and worry. In other words, what if we went in a different direction? Like we go directly into, career anxiety or something. Like, what? Who else? Who do you mostly want to have as clients for the 8 week version? And what if we had a 12 week version? Like, who do you want to think we could get a lot of money out of?
Well, for me, I mean, unless it's also you're in the offer,
Oh no, I'm in the offer, of
yeah,
course.
then it'll be the business people. But for me alone, I don't want to just be having sessions with business people like Trevor because, it's just my nature will not measure up to their, and that's just too much pressure for me,
Right.
right? That's just
Yeah.
the truth right now. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I,
Okay. I got an idea. Let's do this. We're actually doing a video right now. I'm gonna stop it for myself. That is going to be for John.
just from experience, I think like someone similar or like John as an ideal client,
Ooh.
but
Okay.
who has money to pay, of course, right?
So, see, that implies to me that you want someone who is got a full time job, and I don't want someone like that. I rather have someone that has to succeed or has an urgent, not desire, but an urgent pressure commitment that they have to make money now in their business.
Yeah, me too. So be like more entrepreneurs.
Yeah, I don't want someone like Johnny. I know what you mean, though. Johnny, in the sense that he's an awesome guy and we love helping him turn around his personal life and all that. It's such a joy. But we don't want that other part of Johnny in terms of there's not as much money there when they're not committed to transitioning to becoming full time with their passion, right? And there's nothing wrong with it. It's just John
Yeah,
admitted he really loves his job, or at
yeah,
least he's saying that to himself in denial because he doesn't think he'd really make it doing the work he loves. That's probably what it is. But still, it's valid.
yeah.
It's completely valid. Like, yeah, he at least he's enjoying his job.
I
You
agree.
can't make a person have a desire that they don't have.
I agree. Yeah.
It's someone like John, but um, they absolutely are just they just want to be full time right away if they're not already. Like
Yeah.
their heart can't be in two places. That's it. Is your heart really somewhere else?
Yeah.
John did something of that hate your job, and I thought it was too harsh, but it was for Trevor, but I think what he wrote is going to be perfect for a Facebook ad as a just the ad. Wait, hate your. I wish I knew where to find the document. Let me see if this is it. All mailboxes.
See, if it was, and I'm open, right? It's wherever the fastest,
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
But I think if I was to really be truthful to myself, as I think I am being truthful, I don't know.
Go. Hit me with it.
And it would be like, with these COVID times, perspectives have changed, people's mindsets have changed. And people are like waking up, and I don't know, maybe it's a risky business, but someone like who is really ready, who has had enough, but doesn't know a way out of the anxiety of getting out of their job force because they have nothing, a future to live into. Now that may be too hard, you know,
I like it. Let's stick with it. Don't
because
let's stick with it, and then I'll be the negative with it
oh yeah,
later.
hold on. So let me just talk what's coming up for me. If I was, I think, really passionate because I've been through experience that, being in a job and I said I loved it and that was truthful to me, right, at the time. But the worry, the anxiety of going into work every day got worse and worse. Like first it'd be okay, then it would get worse. Like I was just stuck in my own head, right? That I couldn't even see, you know, I couldn't even see what was around me, the truth, because I was so much in denial, right? That I told myself, or I believed, that everyone else was right and I was wrong. I was supposed to be working these hours. I couldn't even see the truth from the false, right? Because I was so much in anxiety, in worry, in panic, in attachment, emotionally attached and physically attached, and just really like not having that confidence or that belief that I'll get any other job that's better than what I have now, right? So, so yeah, I mean, in my case, call me lucky, call me fortunate. Not everybody goes through that where something happens, a situation, now they're forced to turn it around. It just happens naturally, right? Um, But yeah, they're just really stuck because they have no one there to show them the way and help them out and say, come here. They never even saw a dream of having their own business or becoming an entrepreneur. They may have tried in the sidelines, right? But again, their heart was in two places. And so they couldn't really succeed in really anything fully, right? Because they're so much into their job, but in the underlying aspect of it, they're not happy. They tell themselves they're happy, right? But that's what they have to do to just get by and survive. What else are they going to do if they don't have any other options, right? To survive, because their job brings their income. So they have to be satisfied with it. Just like how I had to tell myself. Be in appreciation and satisfaction. Because what is the other alternative? So that is anxiety. Is just, call it corporate anxiety, call it, I don't know, think it's really career anxiety.
Career professional, the anxiety of a career professional.
Yeah, yeah,
Career professional anxiety.
yeah, yeah.
Or career anxiety.
Yeah, and another thing is, let me just talk, I'm not saying I'm going to go and do this. It may also be very therapeutic for me, I don't know, is the anxiety of losing your home, your security. But that's all connected, right? To the job. I lose my job, then that comes to, oh, I'm going to lose my home because I'm not going to have enough money for the rent. Where am I going to go? Like, all that comes into the security aspect. And I think there is more. That's why we're getting so many responses, or I am, because because of COVID, the anxiety has increased, right? Yeah, the anxiety has escalated maybe 10 times, 100 times in what it used to be. That's why this market is so hot. People are afraid. It's like they try to be positive or however they deal with it. Government's gonna help or whatever. But fear is fear, and fear comes with anxiety. When you feel you don't have control over your own surroundings, like at any time, the wool can be lifted up your eyes, like you think you're secure, but at any time the government can change the laws. And what? All of a sudden, I didn't expect this. Oh my gosh. Now landlords have more power. Oh my gosh. Like, I don't have 50 grand yet, and now I have to go and fetch that 50 grand if I'm kicked out tomorrow. Like, it may be irrational, but it's all related to anxiety.
But it may seem irrational to other people,
Yeah.
but the experience is terrifyingly real for those that are in it when they're in it.
Exactly. Right? And even though they may have the option to go and live with their mom and dad, but it's just that whole mindset of how we think. But I'm going backwards now. Am I going to be having to live now with my parents forever? The dependency, I just got out of that dependency, and I actually, felt I reached a level, you know, where it was like close to my dream, and now it's like going backwards. Like that whole, like those thoughts that go on in an average person's mind, right? Because whether we like it or not, yes, we could say success is a personal thing to everyone, but how the world sees success as the world. Forget about our personal beliefs. The world sees success as how much money you have, where you live, and what you're doing. That's how success is measured in the world, right? We look at Dan Henry and we see he's a successful guy. Why? Not because of the good clothes he wears or how he presents himself, it's because of how much money he's making. Right? Like you know what I mean? Um, Doctors are deemed as, oh, he's successful, he's a doctor. Like it's by
Wait. Let's go back to what you said. You said basically people are judged, success is judged by how much money you make. What else?
where you live, like what, home you live in, whether it's a mansion, 10 Lisa, whatever, or a
Yeah.
subsidy placed by the government, or
So yeah. So basically comes down to how much money you make.
yeah, exactly, yeah,
Right. And so you know what? That's what we do. We somehow make it about money, but without making it directly about money. It's like we're going in on anxiety, and then we're making a case like when you have that anxiety, you know, the thing, and you have anxiety over one of those, basic values or whatever, like you have anxiety around money, then you end up losing everything because, right? And so the ironic thing is that you could focus on making money, but if you haven't dealt with the anxiety, you're going to go nowhere. That's why, you know, Andrew was wise to accept our offer. He knows he's got a little bit of this anxiety going on. And you know what? I'm going to edit this for Andrew. So like Andrew's got a little bit of this anxiety going on. He's wise to understand that little bit of anxiety is, could kill him. It could destroy, well, it'd destroy his ability to manifest what he wants, because we've been there. When you don't have like constant momentum, daily momentum, you know that isn't being, you know like just crushed, with these little anxiousness thoughts and panic feelings. When you got that going on, all you're going to do is struggle and survive. He's wise. He's so wise. That's what we're offering people, right? Certainty. And I think let's just consider, what if our offer was 12 weeks instead of trying to do a shorter version of it? What if it was 12 weeks and it delivered on what we're promising Andrew, that made him say yes? We're saying, we promise you in 12 weeks, your anxiety will be gone. Like your anxiety problem will completely gone with 12 weeks of working with Scott and Samina in this way, with working with us, right? In our Integrity Choices coaching program. Your anxiety will be gone. And if your thing that's most important to you is your career, and you don't have a job, we promise you you're going to have a job within 12 weeks, right? And if you don't, we work with you until you get a job, or whatever we say. Or you have an addiction problem, I promise you will be recovered and free from that addiction within 12 weeks of working with me, guaranteed, or you don't pay. So these are three different offers, right now. Those are three different offers. We test offers and we test audiences. That's how Facebook works. There's three offers.
yeah. Well, look at the, that last testimonial. I'm just bringing that because it relates. Natalie, the very last time she came here and she gave that testimonial to you on video of what it did for her, the 22 grand. If anything, it, she had that, well, I don't remember the numbers, but 1% of uncertainty, and you brought up that 1% to 100%, something like that it was.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? So,
But we can't use her testimony. And so
no,
this
I'm
video
not
is
going
good.
to
No, I'm
use.
just saying because this video is going to be for John. I want
Yeah.
to make sure because John would hear that and say, give me that testimonial. So I'm just saying this for
Okay.
John that we
Yeah.
can't use that because we don't have that testimonial. So what's a story that we can use? But no, it doesn't matter about the stories right now. What matters is what I wrote down. This is our next Facebook ad. You know why I wasn't talking? Because it was so powerful. I didn't want to guess what we're doing.
What?
John is going to create a Facebook ad, whole thing, story of Trevor for me, right? He's still working on that. We'll just bring it back to life if he wants to. And we're also going to do another one, which is you being my success story. And I wrote down, we're going to use Samina's story, video, all of it. And because it's right, because you just told me who you want to help, and I already did that with you.
Yeah.
It says, and then I mark it outside of Ontario. So because the people outside of Ontario, Samina, don't know our story. Remember we've been thinking too small. We're just thinking about all these people that about 1,000 people that know us as celebrities, but they're all in Ontario, right? They're the only ones that know our story, and they're not our customers. So we've been taking it for granted since our story's not working. Yeah, no, that's our most powerful story. My most powerful story is what I did for you, which you just told me right now, this is what you want to do with people. Well, then that means we use your story and we just change it so you're getting to work with both me and Samina, but it's very clear. It comes across really like it's my offer, Samina. Get it? It's a turnaround offer. We make it about my turnaround offer, and here's an example of a success story. And now we do that and send that story all over the world, UK, London, England, and we do it as like what I did for your career. You don't have to do the Ministry of Labor thing. You just the story is so compelling, right? What a story. Not only is this person the success story, this person is now a partner with me in this offer. Like, how could you not trust this? You get to work with the person whose story you just heard.
Yeah.
Wow. And now that's it.
Yeah.
That's the fastest, easiest thing for us to be selling.
Yeah.
Like everything you said, I'm going to just send it back and send it to you. And then I think that's it. Like you just explained the whole world of the customer, but you were actually talking about yourself. See what I mean? Then path of least resistance is like, oh my God, she's both the testimonial and the creator of the offer, because this is who you want to serve. People that are in exactly the same position as you, but they didn't have, as you used to say, a Scotty. They didn't have someone to get them out. You're right. You're right. There's going to be some people that are, have money, but don't have a job to go back to. And they don't know, they don't believe for a second that they could be making money as a self-employed person. Don't call it entrepreneur, as a self-employed person.
Yeah.
With opportunities that are right there in front of them that they can't see. Take Samina Fernandez, for example. She was boom, 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 working at this hospice, don't talk about whatever, right? And there was a passion there. And then I helped her see that passion and pull it out, and then boom, created a number of things with her. Look what she's done. Did the same thing with Liz, Scott and Samina worked with Liz. That was the first time we did it. That's why this is not a beta launch, right? Did it with Samina. Then Samina and I did it with another person, Liz, right? And now we're presenting this offer to you, publicly to have these types of case studies.
Yeah. Well, you just had me get really present to Liz. Liz actually, in retrospect, now that I see it, was exactly me. What you did with me.
Tell the story. Practice telling the story. Go ahead. You're correct.
All right. Well, Liz came in.
She was a nurse.
She was a
You got to
nurse.
tell who she was. Tell John everything about her prior to her meeting with me.
All right. Well, Liz was a nurse working at a clinic or a hospital. Yeah, well, she was working at a hospital, and she's married, has 2 kids, and when the first time she came in, she was like totally lifeless. Worry, anxiety, depressed. Like you would think she was on the verge of truly like, not that I like Scott had this session with her initially, the first session, but like she was on the, she may not like said it, but you would think that she was just ready to end it all, like on um, that's how bad things were for her. She had no hope. She didn't see, a light at the end of the tunnel. She didn't see hope to get out of her situation. She was basically just surviving the best she could. But like she looked, you came in, you would see her, you'd think this woman's like lifeless. There's no life in her, right? Um, and then she met with Scott, and she really detested her job. Like she would admit she hated her job. She wasn't treated right. She wasn't getting along with her boss. She was just
And I
basically,
just want to jump in because John had the brilliant idea to have a headline that was, "Do you hate your job?" And look, you just said that.
yeah.
So Trevor, I think Johnny's onto something here with that piece. Keep going, keep going.
And
She hated her job. Go ahead, yeah.
hated her job. She was basically, she even admitted it. She was just going in for the money, right? Because, she was in a codependent relationship and her husband was, pressuring her, like, not to quit her job, you know, to bring in money for the family and take care of the kids. Like, it was a very unhealthy codependent relationship as well. Her marriage was not working, all that. And her passion was her art. She loved painting and she loved art. And she actually stopped doing that because she believed in this whole programming. I gotta go work, I gotta be a good person, just like me. Um, that she had a very low self esteem and just this belief like she's gotta take care of the kids because her husband's bringing the money. She's gotta be a good wife, she's gotta be a good mother, she's gotta be a good person. So she had a lot of that codependency going on in her mind, and she would be so apologetic. Like she's a very good at heart. She's like, you could say, a version of me, of who I was, 3 years ago or 5 years ago when I was still working at the hospice. She was like, apology written on her forehead. Like every little thing, even if it wasn't her fault, she would apologize for it. She would feel bad, apologize, apologize, apologize. Like she had no sense of her own self, of her own self-worth, or love herself, right? And she's like, you meet her, she's the most gentle, sweetest person. Um, we just loved her. Anyways, so what
And still
happened?
do. And
And
still
still
do.
do, right?
Yeah, yeah. You meant, yeah, we just loved working with her. I know what you meant.
We loved
Go ahead.
working with her, yeah. Um,
And she totally doesn't need us now. And she's actually doing Facebook ads and online marketing better than we showed her. Like we got her trained in all of that as well. And
yeah,
then she just took it off and took it all and and made it all happen on her
And
own.
she did not have a self-good image of herself. She didn't like taking pictures. She didn't like being on video.
Now she's on video all the time.
She was very self-conscious about herself, right? She was like overweight or whatever, but she was very self-conscious about herself. Anyways, she had sessions with Scott. She joined the 12-week Integrity Choices program, and believe it or not, in that program, she ended up leaving and quitting her job and giving up her nursing. And
As a
that,
result of a consultation call she had with both me and you, right? It was a big decision. She finally got, in that 12 weeks, during that journey, she found that power to like deal with that ultimate out of integrity decision, right? That she can't, she beat
yeah,
prostituting, and yeah, and we helped her make that decision, but not just make the decision, helped her because we'd proven to her and started getting her results with her business along the way. Like she had a launch of her art thing. And now what I'm going to do is show John on the screen here. Like this is her. Look at this. This is her. This is Liz. She's now got an art business. Look at that. She's not afraid to, she was never on Facebook. She'd never show her. She was ashamed of her looks. Ashamed. Look at her. Now she's proud. Man, keep going, Samina. Keep going. Keep
yeah,
telling John this story. Because that's a Facebook ad right there. That's another campaign.
yeah. Um, she got back, so yeah, the integrity choices definition: be truthful to yourself, right? She knew, like through going through the 12 weeks, that she was not being truthful to herself, and you know, it wasn't out of integrity for her to continue the way she continued, and so she finally, was honest with her husband. Yes, they had to work out some kind of a deal that wasn't a compromise for him or whatever, all that. And he agreed, that she quit her job and focus on her art business, and that wasn't happening. Like he was completely against it because the whole program. You gotta work. You need the money, right?
But
And
we
then
kept holding the vision when she would like just come crushed. Oh, like she would think it was like it wasn't going to happen because he had so much power over her.
yes,
But then through working with us, she discovered her power without ever saying, discover your power. We just kept holding the vision and supporting in her and following that buried passion of being an artist.
of letting go.
Yeah. Before she was just like did it as a kind of hobby now and then, but you
But
know,
now it's her.
there was no real enjoyment in it. She lost the enjoyment of even doing the art. That's why she couldn't even bring it back. And then that's when I came up with the idea of the one drop a day. Right? Can you just take one drop of paint and just put it on a piece of paper, one drop a day,
And that
right?
led to a full painting for her. And before you know it, she was into her passion came back to making canvases and paintings and putting offers on Facebook without even us like saying, gotta put an offer on Facebook.
Yeah, but all we did was train her through another, the marketing program we have as well, right?
Yeah.
Psychology of marketing. You were advising. It don't even call about the program. We were advising her on her marketing and giving her the tool, the resources, you know, as to how to market your business online, including coaching on that.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Um,
We just don't have to call it psychology of marketing or mission marketing. We just say, this is one of the things that we did for this person. We don't have to explain how we did it, and then we confuse them about what the offer is. The offer is not the program or the sessions or what we're calling the program. The offer is the result you're going to have in 12 weeks,
yeah.
whatever that result is.
Yeah.
You're in your,
Uh,
but we're definitely promising in 12 weeks, your anxiety will be completely gone.
her anxiety was gone.
Yeah. just like what happened for you.
Yeah.
In other words, if you're a person who has this consistent worry and anxiety, and it just seems like no matter what you're doing, it's never going to like completely go away. Yeah, well, it will if you work with Scott and Samina for 12 weeks. We guarantee it.
Yeah.
And what came to mind as you were telling that story, Samina? You were saying the word, as you were telling your story, you used the word codependency. As you talked about Liz's story, you used the word codependency. Guess what? There's the bridge between the money I've already spent on Facebook. There's the joint markets. I've already been doing for the last 3 weeks an ad bringing out who I am with the big book to codependent people, big book people, and people Gabor Mate, so that all of them understand the word codependent. So we might actually target, the addiction community, because anybody that is, even if they were an addict and loved my video, they all know what codependency is, and they all have it too. They probably even have it unresolved issues in that area. So if we come out like, this guy helps people that have codependency issues, but I'm not talking about 12 steps. It's codependency, anxiety issues, and help you, get out of that and make forward progress in your career.
Yeah.
Because the thing that's stopping you is the anxiety.
Yeah.
And here's the story of what I did for Samina. And then another ad. Here's a story of what we did together, Samina and Scott, with Liz.
Yeah. Liz, the thing that she was in just so much pain, right? And she saw an opportunity. She couldn't afford to pay. It was free. But she was just in so much pain that like she had enough of the pain. So she had that willpower to change and do
She was so committed. She did everything she said she was going to do. Like, she took this, she gave all she could.
Yeah.
Right?
She's so appreciative of what was available for her here, and she knew the value, that she was so committed to taking all of her coaching and putting it into action, and she got the results for herself. In 12 weeks, or even less than 12 weeks, it was happening. It was like a gradual process, and then at the end, she launched her with her, event. She had an event for her art thing, and it was packed full. And it was full because of how Scott also marketed it, right?
Yeah, I did all the marketing. We had how many people? Almost 50 people in that event, and I marketed it online.
Yeah, and that launched her. And after that, people were coming up to her, wanting to work with her. She was getting opportunities, offers. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that came after she dealt with the anxiety.
Right.
We helped her deal with that anxiety, or that getting, again, it's always like Scott points out, getting to that personal root of what's blocking you. With her, it was her job,
And look at this. John is going to be the next Facebook ad story, because he does fit the criteria. Codependency.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? And codependency, this is the beautiful thing. If I just keep promoting and putting all my stuff into the All Addictions Anonymous free funnel, right? That's creating so much goodwill and trust. That's the free offer, right? I don't even have to do anything. I just meet the odd person for the big book, which is a treat, right? And they're getting the color coding system, and it's helping. It's going all over. People are engaging, sharing it. It's incredible. And we get to do all that for free. Then here's the thing. Every single addict, that is the last and final addiction. That's what I learned from my experience, is that you think it's crack, and then anger comes up, and then sex, and then cigarettes, and this and that, and in the end, the ultimate addiction that is behind all addictions, like a sex addict will totally see this, is not thinking they're enough, and they're trying to do things to have daddy be proud of them. Like, I'm talking about me now, and just trying to make other people happy, and and avoiding at all costs, certain people that you care about their opinion from, not being happy with you, not liking you, not approving you. It's like it's the common thing that every addict can identify with. And so you're talking things like anxiety. Every addict can identify with that. They know exactly what that experience is like. So it's almost like you're talking the language that these addicts are going to respond to. We're just not talking about 12 steps at all, and that's why it's going to work, because there's no controversy or argument caused by the first message that's been going out, and all these people are watching it, thousands now.
Yeah.
So now we come in with something like this, a really powerful offer to people that trust me, that they know if the big book guy that was just on that video, 12-step people are going to put an offer out like that and promise something, not deliver, especially not to another 12-step person. They would totally trust us. So we got to do what Dan Henry says to do. You got to promise results, not processes. You'll have your anxiety will be gone. If you're looking for if we take you on and you tell us that you want to accomplish a job, get a job in this terrible market, well, I can promise that to you. Why? And then you make a point of making sure people know Scott's, background as a top headhunter. That's why I was able to do it for you and for Liz.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the difference, is all along I've been promising processes for how it all works. But people, again, in this day and age, want results. They want, some sort of a guarantee, especially if they're going to be paying money.
Yeah.
Right? It's not a worker mentality. It's like you gotta step it up and guarantee some kind of tangible result in a certain time period. And know it and believe it and then charge for it. So people do get those results because they're investing. So it's to their benefit to actually invest and pay, because again, when they pay, they're more inclined to get the results.
Yeah.
Because they've put something forward that's valuable to them, that they care about money. Yeah.
Hi.
Hey, buddy. Yeah, man, that's so cool. I didn't even fully read your thing because I'm talking to Sabina, but I just knew. Hey, he does something's going on. So check this out, man. We're just been like the Facebook ads, man. We're learning so much about the Facebook ads. Like I'm putting my money in it, $500 a month, like and targeting in a certain way, and it's blowing my mind. And I can't wait to start teaching you, when you're ready, what we've been doing. Once we show you, we just made a shitload of money in the last 90 days. It's incredible. It's incredible, man. We're applying Dan Henry's training, and it's fun. It's fun. You target very, very niche. You just, yeah. Anyway, so tell me what's going on. You got something good happening tomorrow related to your career or something, and you were thinking maybe postpone. Yeah, tell me the story. I didn't even read the whole message. I just right away thought, yeah.
Maybe I'm just going to look at my message because it was quite a long blurb, so I can remember what I said to you.
Yeah. Just read the message to me. Yeah.
Okay, so basically, I wanted to update you on what's going on right now because it might change our session for tomorrow, depending what you had planned. Someone I know has been reading my Facebook posts, and she just out of the blue messaged me and offered me a job. And
Awesome. Awesome. Go ahead.
So she's going to finalize the details with me this week. So that takes care of the work thing. And I've also been focused on looking for a home. I've got a couple of buddies trying to help me out. I have been looking, I haven't found anything yet, but I've been pretty focused on doing that. Then I had a rough sick day a couple of days back.
Yeah.
I had two networking events back to back, which is good for work. So I've been like a little bit all over the place. So I thought that's why I hadn't been in touch or been able to make any decisions. So I'm not sure how to prepare for tomorrow. And then I just messaged you and added, I wondered whether you advise if I should postpone or not. I'm fine either way. I just don't really know because I've been.
Yeah, of course. You're just, you're operating according to the integrity definition, right? You're not certain of something, and do we need to do the session? Is that respecting Scott's time? Yeah, it's perfect.
Yeah, like one
perfect. No, of course. Yeah.
From day to day, it's like changing. Every day or two, something else has come up, and then I'm going there, and then I'm going here. So it's like, okay, I'll just go with it.
Nice. Well, thanks for reaching out and causing us to be talking about it. That's great. Now I got a better context with it. So here's what I would say. It's your choice, but it's good because I just did a video, because I was supposed to tell you that little tiny concern. So we'll just deal with it all right now. So here's a reason to come on anyway, right? Because it's kind of wise to know what your options are, and like not just make it so that what if I could help you from the perspective of you got a job that's great, let me show you how to get an even better job now that you got this job without actually doing it. In other words, let's just find out about this job, make sure it is exactly what you want, and then let's see if there's anything missing through a consultation, and then still have that targeted plan to know how to go about being competitive in the marketplace.
Do I do that before I've given this job a shot, or?
No, we would just talk about it. No, you don't go looking for a job yet. No. Okay. I'm just saying that's one reason to maybe still do the call. But that's why I'm saying it's good you reached out. Maybe that's not a good enough reason. But so let me go into this other area. The only concern that I was sharing with Samina about everything I heard in the video, I think this is totally a fit. But because Samina's got, a situational anxiety kind of thing going on with, the landlord stuff and not closing any new deals since COVID, right? So there's a little right? This deal would mean so much to Samina, like that if it's really a yes, right? And so I know you've said a yes, so Samina would worry. So I just wanted to say that it's absolutely a yes. We all agree to the terms, right? That's in the video, everything you said. We're going to do it. $2,000 payment terms, like you said, $400 a month minimum, maybe 500, like everything you said. And we're a yes to that. And I'm just going to make a request that no matter what, it would cause Samina more anxiety if she made it conditional. So that's why she can't really make it a demand. But in my business, I don't enter into a contract with someone without some type of good faith deposit and some type of penalty if in the end, like they got a job and then at the last minute said, you know what, I'm not going to go through with the contract with you that we had said we were going to start at the end of September. So my request that I'm making on behalf of Samina is that you make a token deposit if you can, but more importantly than that, if you just give your word that no matter what, you will not change your mind, and Samina will get a payment of $500 from you before October 1st.
Okay, the only thing is I haven't given you or said the go, yes, I'm fully in. I haven't, did I miss something?
That's correct. That's correct. But just like Samina said, give us to make sure that we can be a go or not a go. So we're saying we're a go. And the way you answered all the questions is like, if this were a go, it sounded like you were saying, yeah, I want to do this, and here's why, and here's what the terms would be. And then so we're saying yes to all your terms, And I understand that the most important value for you in this offer is something that, and that's what I was just saying this morning, that Andrew's very wise for why he said yes, is this little bit of anxiety that's there. And that anxiety is the thing that, if we could get rid of it entirely, in fact, that's going to be our offer you're going to be seeing going out on Facebook within the next month at more than $2,000. And it might just be 8 weeks. But anyway, it's about that anxiety that is kind of running in the background. And that anxiety to me is, or even just call it worry, because it might seem like, oh, my anxiety's gone away now because I got a job. But there's something going on there. There's this worry kind of energy there, and it's blocking you from being able to see your pathway in your self-employed business clearly. And from time to time you might see it, and then sometimes it won't matter because you got a job. But that is a deep desire in you to be having that way to make money. Like if we've learned anything in COVID, you're a fool. The world has woken up. You're a fool to have your financial security tied in to somebody else, like an employer, a job. So that's the main benefit of the offer, is like looking at what was the spirit trying to tell you through that anxiety. See, you can't see it, just like Samita couldn't see it. And that's why I was working with her in finding out what the commitment was that was behind all that. But having said that, we definitely would not want you to have to move forward with this. We'd rather just, Samina, get the truth now, that if you're saying, yeah, I got a job now, and so my level of excitement and commitment to this offer is different than what we saw in that video prior to you getting your job. Like the way you represented yourself on that video was clearly you wanted that, this is how I could make this work. And then we're coming back and saying, we say yes to everything. And so if you want to say, I didn't technically give my word, you're absolutely correct. So now is the opportunity for you to just say, this deal is not happening, and I'll take my one final session with you, Scott. And if that's the case, we just do it on Sunday.
Okay. Kind of where I'm feeling it is, I still like the idea of the offer, but because of what's going on right now, I'm having an issue with timing. The timing is, because I'm bouncing around a little bit now, and then if I'm like with a job offer, I got to nail that down and get it down packed, and then
I hear you. Okay, yeah, valid. So let me say this. It's also, I just want to say that the yes is also something else you said in the video, and Samina told you, yes, we will work around the timing. Like it's still 12 sessions with me, 12 sessions with Samina, and of course, we're not gonna like force you to like have the sessions in such a way that they don't support you. So,
yes.
You know, we could be activating it earlier if you really felt that would make the big difference and you were committed, then that's fine. You know, we could do that.
Sorry, could you just repeat the last a little bit, Scott?
Well, if you feel that you would get the most value out of the offer if we activated it earlier or even later than the end of September, like it gets activated, you know, and we could just do right now. Let's pick a different date to activate it, but I'm still giving my word that I'm going to get you that $500 deposit or whatever on or before October 1st when I got my 80 grand or so from the house. Like I have the money and I want to do this, and I can fully commit if we agree that the start date is flexible, but that you guys are going to be ready to have that first session on or about whatever date you tell me right now, which is, you know, just give me like the week of whatever, with the understanding that you could still be in communication to reschedule the start date so long as you're still paying Samina, whether you were to start later or not. And we'll give you up to, let's say, a maximum of 1 year to start utilizing the services in the 12-week basis.
Yeah, I understand that part, but I'm just trying to express where I'm at. I'm having trouble deciding because I've got stuff going on and things change every day or every other day. So I've been trying to sit down and make a decision and be clear, but stuff has come up and got in the way. So my issue is not necessarily an extension, which I know is, I don't want to waste your time either, but I'm trying to make sure that I can decide properly for myself, and my head is not always there. That's my issue, and I don't want to just say, yeah, sure, I've got an extension. I need to know this is the right decision. I got to be able to get my head clear enough to say, yep, in or out, because like I'm bouncing on the fence here, and you guys are waiting in limbo while I'm trying to get clear enough to make a decision on my own. And you know, this next 5 weeks now is crunch time for me, so it's getting in my way of making a decision. And I know it's delaying you, but I don't want to. I want to be really. I want to be able to make the decision in my own, have a clear head, and make the right decision on my own. While all this stuff is going on, like I'm kind of halfway there. I'm nailing the job down. Next is little few personal details here at this house, and then getting my new place and all that. But my issue is just getting still enough to, I make that decision. Too much is freaking getting in my way. I've been trying to, I've been trying to get to a little meditative phase each day. Give me a sign, give me an answer. I'm trying to.
Okay, so let's do this. Since the offer expires tomorrow anyway, right? We were just going to discuss payment terms on the call, right? That's all we were going to do. So yeah, I'm not going to give you an incentive by altering that aspect, because that's part of the reason why I put that deadline in, because that would serve you. So it's like the offer expires anyway. You're never going to get what we offered you, and you're never going to see that. When you see our offer go out that's similar to the exact thing that you said yes to, you're going to see it won't be $2,000. You're going to see that. And for you, it expires tomorrow.
Yeah.
Right. So whether you want to have our session tomorrow or not, that's what I told you. The offer will expire, so that all we're talking about is payment terms tomorrow. So it's not yet tomorrow. So it's perfect that it's all come up. So what do you want to, what do you think will help you with your decision? I don't mind helping you get to a no right now. That's not a problem. But this offer expires tomorrow. So yeah, let's just talk a little bit, and so you can say yes or no, and that's it.
Okay. So like my key areas were, one was the job thing, one was
here's what I'm going to say based on what you just said. Based on what you just told me, all the reasons why you don't, you're hesitating on making a decision. That's exactly why you got to make the decision. But I know you don't see that when you're in that space that you're in right now. But I do want to say that all the stuff that's going on with you, it's like the anxiety just got triggered again. Right now, it's just at a higher level because there's a lot of overwhelm and everything hitting you. That's why I said you might want to just activate the 12 weeks earlier. Like, you're dealing with a lot of shit. You might get more value in me helping you with all this stuff, like the house, all the issues that are coming up. So you've got a sounding board where you're having somebody give you clarity on these decisions in your life that are coming from abundance, not from confusion, coming from clarity, not from confusion. Because your vortex will know when I advise you and I say something, your vortex will either recognize that as the higher level of what you desire, or it won't. And that's extreme value to you. So either you believe that there's a financial value in you having all of your anxiety gone within 12 weeks of working with us, and what that would make available for you, or you don't. And it's okay if you don't, then we just end this right now, because there's no way that I'm going to sell you into seeing something that you cannot see with your current level of confusion, clarity, and stress.
Okay.
So I'm adding stress to you for a short period of time intentionally out of to be humane. I don't care if you're terrified you know, over the next 24 hours, and you're freaking out. Should I do this thing? Should I say yes? Should I not? I don't care, because soon as the deadline expires, you're free. Because you know me, I won't let you come back the next day for $2,000. You know me, that just won't. Because otherwise my word is nothing, and all I was is a scumbag salesman who was trying to manipulate you with a false deadline because I wanted your money. No, that deadline's for you, bro. And once it expires, you can rest assured, oh, you don't have to think about it again because it's gone. That's why I did it for you. It's gone.
Okay.
I can tell you this: if you change your mind, it will be at least $3,000. But I'm not saying it will only be 3,000. Like, I'm not sure what the offer. Sabina and I were just packaging together for John, our writer, and that it's going to be our next Facebook ad. But it will be no less than 3,000. So you do know that there's at least a $1,000 incentive cost savings to you that nobody else will be getting.
Okay.
Because it will be the same offer. It'll be 12 weeks alternating with me and Samina, but it's either gonna be 3,000 to 5,000, we're thinking, and we're going to promise that the anxiety's gone, and that you've gotten a job, or you've moved on to the better job, or you've made like measurable progress in your business, like that's measurable. That's what we're going to put out there as a bold offer.
Okay.
Yeah. So what questions what questions you want to just ask me, or requests? So you have all your facts, and all I'm doing is answer your questions, not convincing anymore.
Okay.
I was only convincing you, by the way, that part of the agreement exists, the deadline. And what that means to you is that you'll be stress-free tomorrow about that, at least with us anyway.
Okay. So since now that I've got this new job offer, and with the 12 weeks, have you already kind of figured out in a ratio-wise, how much we're going to focus on anxiousness, how much on my personal business, my medium blessings business, or are you just sort of winging it week to week?
No, it always comes from the client. When you're a paid client, we start the sessions differently. You're coming into a session with me with a clear intention. Yeah, okay. What you've experienced with us is correct. It's been winging it, because this was a different offer. This was just like a free thing, like working with an addict. You know, like everything we did benefited you, right? And we're not going to add on top of it, you know, like more time in preparation. But that's what we're doing. You're coming into the sessions more prepared. We're helping you get clear on what we want to be working on during the sessions. That's what session 1 would be about, which is not this, right? Right? Because we're done with you, right? You were just going to have a career counseling session tomorrow, and then that's it, right? But if you activate this agreement, I think you know how we work, but we're basically talking it more. Sabina already did it with you. She did a great job. She asked you the questions. What would you want to accomplish in 12 weeks? She did it. She was very precise and got general answers out of you. 3 basic quadrants that were very important to you to work on. Well, we work on them, unless when we start working with you, you say, I got a job, so that's no longer important, but this is now. So it's just like, yeah, we wing it, but that's a good thing. That's because we don't jam an agenda you used to have last week down your throat when the vortex has told you you're at a new place now.
Okay.
Right? It's what we're working on, what you say we want to work on.
Okay.
And you always have the power to say, hey, I know I gave my word to doing this, but I don't have an inspired context, and I've been doing my best about that. And what do I think I'd like to talk more about this right now. I'm having this fight show up between me and my ex, and it's gone legal or whatever, right? It's everything that's important to you in your life. That's what we're dealing with.
Okay. And part of why I asked that question is, you mentioned that in 12 weeks, that whatever anxiousness they have, that can be gone, like guaranteed done. So how do you know how many weeks that would take if we're ringing each week? How do you know how to resolve it in a matter?
Because I've been doing this kind of transformational work for over 10 years. And when I work with an addict, it's 12 weeks and they all have anxiousness and it's gone by the time I'm done with them. Weekly sessions, like whether it's the big book or not.
Because say some weeks we'll be working on my business and then another week will be on, how do you know how many weeks it takes for me to clear out, say, anxiousness? Like how do you?
Because of my experience. That's what I deal with. I'm the founder of All Addictions Anonymous. I'm dealing with all most complicated personal issues in people's lives.
Okay.
And all of those people have depression and anxiety.
Okay.
You're just like a drug addict, only you're not a drug addict. Worry. Samina, that's why Samina's story we're marketing is not how I built her platforms. We're marketing worry and anxiety. That was her problem. And I solved that problem through all the different things I created through our consulting, of which she implemented. She got guests. She did her part.
Okay. So
Right, but I came up with the creative marketing ideas.
Okay, so it doesn't
like
matter
which
what.
clearly worked. Like if it wasn't for us, you would have had any of the clients you told Samina that you got. We helped you carry on and stay focused and build your business, and you paid us nothing for that. It's that kind of thing. We help you create things that never would have happened without us.
Okay.
So it's just like that, only you're getting double the amount of sessions with me, or more than that, because you were only getting one a month maybe. Every other week you're having a session with me.
Okay, so it doesn't necessarily matter what topic we're working on, whether it's my business or the anxiety kind of gets worked on anyway in every session?
It gets worked on without working on it. That's the thing.
Okay.
Just like when you look at all the testimonies from all the schools and and all the kids getting off of addictions,
Yeah.
we never talked about their addictions in the sessions,
Yeah.
right? Same thing when you see All Addictions Anonymous. It says, that never do we even ask you to disclose your addictions. We don't even talk about them. Whatever the problem is, we actually don't even talk about it. That's how I work.
Okay.
I just know you think it's that. That's what you're calling it. But that feeling is basically this bad feeling. And it's because you're out of integrity in your own life at a level that you don't even know. You can't see what it is. Like there's something that you're supposed to be doing with your whatever that is. It doesn't be a big thing. And you don't understand that thing that you're just not seeing that your soul wants to do. I just say, would you like to do that? And you go, yeah. And all of a sudden now you're doing that thing and more anxiety is going away. Anxiety is a gift. Anxiety is the spirit kind of nudging at you and saying, dude, you're off track. You got to turn around, or, you got to like jump up because you're like totally in the wrong direction with this particular area of your life. And when you're in it, you don't know what area it is.
Yeah.
Right? You just think it's anxiety. Anxiety is the gift to say, hey, there's something there. What is behind there that's actually a commitment wanting to get expressed? There's something this guy's committed to doing with his life, like right now, not like 10 years being a millionaire. I mean, there's something he's committed to right now in his life, and he can't see it, but he's trying to pretend he can't see it because he's scared maybe. But bottom line is you got so much confusion with all those fears, worries, and overwhelm going on that you don't understand that the overwhelming confusion is not caused by those things that are going on. It's being caused for you to see there's something else that should be going on that you're not even looking at.
Okay.
That's it. Samina, there's our offer. I'm going to edit that. You got your marketing material. There's our offer. That's the fucking offer. That's the $5,000 offer right there, Samina.
Okay, that makes
We were
sense.
just talking, Samina and I, for the past hour and a half on the offer that you're getting at, and what we're doing to take it into Facebook ad territory, where the reality of potentially earning 20 to 50 grand a month on this very offer is right in front of our fucking face.
Okay.
That's it. So there's truly no attachment. We don't care if you say yes or no. You won't be hurting us, and I'm going to assume it won't be hurting you because God's in charge, not us. And I can tell you, no matter what panic might go on with Samina with her little humanity, right? That you saying yes or no has nothing to do with it. You know, she's going to be more than fine. But you know what would matter? Just knowing if you're a yes, and if you are a yes, then prove it by saying, if I'm a yes, then I promise I'm paying this money, monthly payments, starting first payment before October 1st. Even if I don't actually utilize the services until sometime within the first 12 months, no matter what, I'm a yes, and you're going to get $500 on this date, Samina, this date. Even if I drop dead and die, you're going to get your money, because you shouldn't be doing payment terms based upon what trust we would have earned by now. You really should just say, take the $2,000 because I just got it. And it's better for me to give it to you rather than me constantly see $500 coming out of my bank account going to you, and like questioning the value and like looking at that as lack. Cause I've seen that hurt people. You should just pay the $2,000 as soon as you get it. And trust that we're not going to fuck you over, and trust that we're going to be exactly the same with you, whether you've paid us or you haven't. And I think if anyone can do that, it's you, because you've experienced everything we've done for you unconditionally for over 12 weeks, and just keep give on. And there was no money even part of it. So yeah, dude, the expired, the offer expires before we get on the phone tomorrow. Like, it expires tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow midnight, whatever I said. You either trust me and you think there's value for you to pay the $2,000, and you say, yeah, if I'm going to pay it, I just pay it in one lump sum when I have the money.
Okay.
Like, there's no valid reason why you wouldn't just pay the $2,000 as soon as you have it. Does that make sense? The house is selling. The house is selling. Samina hasn't made money in a long time. She's done a lot of value for you. It would make so much of a difference in her, after not closing a deal for 3-4 months, to know that this is like real money, right?
Yeah.
Like, wow, it's really happening, right? And so, like, the difference you could make to Samina by just saying, here, I'm not just going to hold it in my bank account. Here's $2,000 so you can pay a month of your rent. You see what I mean? I'm just saying there's an opportunity for you to get so much value as well out of this deal by making a difference for Samina financially and paying the full $2,000 before October 1st, if you're in a position to do so, because you just got all the money from your house being sold. In the end, it's between you and Samina. But Samina, do you want to just, because he just said he's not a yes yet. That means we can say we're not a yes yet. We're all just seeing if this can work. Samina, I recommend to you that, and you do what you want, I recommend that if it has integrity, even though we said we accept his terms, that you be honest with him, that it would make a bigger difference for you if you got the payment in one payment, $2,000, soon as he has the money from selling the house, and just request that he doesn't do payment terms. And if it were me, I wouldn't even accept payment terms, because I'm concerned that the potential exists. He's looking at these payments as money, as a loss every month. And that fucks with your head when you're like, oh, I'm losing another 500. Oh, I'm losing another 500. I don't think that's good for him. But go ahead. What do you want to say? It's between the two of you. Because between the two of you, my sessions are at 7:15, because I'm the only one who's not profiting.
Yeah, like, I guess where I stand right now, honestly, either or, like, I'm just, whatever makes, I think there's just a benefit, not only to me, to Andrew, to pay the full $2,000, to you, Andrew, talking to you directly, because you're on the call, and, where I'm lying right now, like I'm really coming from just abundance and not wanting to be attached, right? No one.
But Sabina, what my concern is, because how much it hurts your momentum when someone says yes to something, if he does,
Well,
and
I'm
then
going on. I know you say in business don't trust, but I think we've seen Andrew's behavior and patterns for over 12 weeks. So I
that's
don't
true. No, that's true. We just want to get a solid yes, and we totally
Yes, I
trust
don't.
him.
So I don't have reason to believe that Andrew's going to screw me over.
No. But
Um,
we do. But no. But I'm just saying, you don't want him to change his mind, so that's not going to happen because now he understands the offer
yeah,
expires. So what you're saying is, whatever payment terms he wants, it's fine.
it's fine. I mean, Andrew will decide what's best for him. I mean, we've already given our
Yeah.
feedback.
Okay. So that's it. Thanks, Sabina. Got it. You're totally no change. Perfect. This is between you and yeah. So what else do you want to know or talk about that'll help you make your decision?
Um, I think I'm pretty good for now. It's just for tomorrow. Like, what do I do for prepping for tomorrow? Like now that we are at now, what's tomorrow look like? What should I
Well,
do?
first of all, what would the payment terms be? That's the thing we want to know. What would the payment, if you say yes, what are the payment terms so that we come on this call, since we already started talking about the payment terms, what are they going to be if you say yes? So we're clear. So we just come on the call and we're not talking about this offer again. And we got more time to talk about your life tomorrow.
Um,
So basically, you just send a message to Sabina or team thing and just says, before you jump on our call, yes, no. That's it. You don't need to do a story. You don't have to apologize. Yes, that means yes, I've given my word. You're going to get this amount of money, these payment terms on these dates, and I will be starting working with you guys and activate those 12 weeks on this date, tentatively, with the option to reschedule if I had to. So you're just telling us exactly what are the payment terms if you're saying yes.
mhm. So the payment terms, if I make it more, like you said, a better option, will that improve the energy or the momentum on both ends? Instead of, like you're saying, instead of the payment you offered me to do payment terms, if I were to do it in full upfront, would that help with on both our ends with motivation, inspiration, et cetera, et cetera? Would that help Samina as well?
Well, here's what I would say. Here's what I'm going to tell you. I hate that this is the answer, actually, because it's not what you want to hear. The truth is, according to our integrity definition, right? It should not make a difference. If we say we're going to do something, whether it's payment terms or not, you are going to get that no matter what, period.
Okay.
And I could tell you this, whatever the payment terms you do, it's not going to change an ounce of my excitement or enjoyment of doing it. But I can say this, Samina will be awesome no matter what the payment terms are. But there's this thing that happens that you can't promise or explain. It's called appreciation. When Samina gets $2,000, which is just more than her monthly rent, and like one payment from you makes her realize, okay, I don't have to be worried about eviction this month.
Yeah.
All I can say is there's just stuff that I can't promise you that just comes out of Samina and myself. Like it's just,
Yeah.
we're going to deliver on the agreement for sure. And I can't
Okay.
say, but do this, we're going to give you more, because that's not cool, because that's
Yeah.
not the offer. But
Yeah.
that's what I'm trying to say. You have an opportunity to make a huge difference in Samina's sense of security that month
Okay.
by just giving it all to her. It means she knows her rent is paid that month.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Sounds good to me.
Yeah. And again, You know, you just gotta be truthful to yourself, Andrew. Like,
So what you're saying, so Andrew, what you're saying, I'll just recreate her. I don't know, she's quiet, but you
So just the
can.
volume is just with Samina's volume, I can barely
I
hear her.
know, I know. We're gonna have to fix
yeah,
that. I know we're just making changes to her setup right now. Her father's helping out. Um, so yeah, so what you're saying then is sounds good to you. Are you saying that if I say yes, it means that yes, I'm going to pay you, Samina, 2,000 plus HST. She's going to charge HST. She's a business. Yeah, the invoice always has HST on it. So she's going to invoice that amount to you, and you'll pay that amount in one sum on or before October 1st. If you say yes, that's what you're saying yes to.
On or before October 1st.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, that's
All right.
good. Yeah.
You're a good man and a wise man, right? Good man and a wise man and an honorable man. Yeah. So I don't think there's any other thing that you just need to say yes. We know what that means, and then what would the tentative start date be? Do you want it to be sooner?
I'm a bit concerned with what's going on with me now. If that's going to throw me off with my focusing on the sessions with you, I don't know whether to jump in sooner or wait till I move. I don't know. That's the thing. Because of shit going on, you know.
So when is the current date set again? It was like the last Friday or whatever. Like, let's pick. You know what? Let's start from somewhere right now. If it didn't matter what the actual first date was, let's just look at our calendar and let's just set a tentative first date and time for the first session with me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what would that date be? I'm looking at my calendar, August 2nd. The last, would you like it to start on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday? What would you guess now that you know you got a job?
Now that I've just realized because of the job and the shift, I better not give you a date now because with the shift business, it could screw me big time. Like I've got to make sure I can meet your times because with this
that's why I'm saying tentative date, because we reschedule. In the end, we're gonna make sure that there's a session happening each week that works. But what do you know about your work hours now?
Tentative. Well, for now, the morning shift ends at 11 a.m.
So it starts like around 5 a.m. Okay, 5 a.m. to 11. Okay, go ahead.
So that's currently what I'm looking at. They run 7 days a week. So I don't know which day off I'm gonna get. We haven't figured that out yet.
That's easy, because you're going to be now in this habit of very early mornings. What time do you wake up in the morning?
6:30. So this is going to be a whole new experience for me. I'm going to have to wake up like latest, if I'm lucky, maybe 4:30 latest to make the shift. That's going to be interesting.
So what I'm saying is this is good, because what we can do, only because of those shift hours, is we want to make our sessions be in the same habit of that. In other words, you wake up at a certain time, you go to work at a certain time, right? Like ideally, it would be best if like you're in this habit of like, this is when your work life starts, because it's already happening. You go to work at a certain time, you're going to be getting up at a certain time. So I'm just saying that, in that maybe it might be good that whatever day we're doing it with you, Samina and I remain willing to have the session start earlier than maybe normal. Like maybe we do start at 6:30 in the morning, on the day that you're not working.
Okay.
Like in other words, what's that?
That day I'm not working. I have no idea what that's going to look like or which day it's going to be. So is it possible?
I know, but they're going to tell you. They're going to give you at least a week's notice, right?
Unless there's like on call or they need help and can you help out tomorrow? Like it's one of those environments. So
are you saying it's your desire to work 7 days a week?
No, like 6 would be pushing at my limit. But as for which 6 they are, like because I don't know what the exact details are yet,
Yeah. So again,
I feel better doing it in the after, maybe afterwards. Then I know I'm not worrying about shift time. If I do it after the shift, no, I don't have to worry about work shift. Should I do
okay.
that?
Well, definitely Samina can agree to that, right? So her sessions with you could definitely be at noon or something like that. So that's a non-issue. The only issue here now is you and me,
Is your
because I'm
okay?
not doing an afternoon session if I'm not getting paid, right?
Okay.
So I would say this: I think you can trust that between the two of us, we're gonna work it out. Like if you get to if the session ends up being a little earlier on a day that you're, because I'm going to assume you're not going to like be an idiot here and work 7 days a week and act like you don't matter, right? All you have
No.
to do is make a request. Hey, I have actually a counseling session around my anxiety. It's a well-being thing that I paid about $2,000 to support me through my anxiety sessions with this guy, or whatever you want to say. And I just wanted to ask, would it be possible that you could give me 1 week's notice on my schedule, so or you make whatever request you want to make if this is important to you. But if you think that no, I don't want to commit because I don't want to lose a day's work, then you know what I mean.
Yeah, no,
It,
I'm not planning to work 7 days a week. I just don't know when my day off is yet. So that's why I'm trying to give you a heads
so
up.
so I'm saying definitely you can schedule after work with Samina. Definitely you cannot with me without paying me extra money, which I'm
Right.
not having intention to get you to. Right now, you're in on Samina's agreement. She does a Facebook Live, 2 hours of my time, and a certain calendar, right? So it's got to be in the morning. I'm just telling you, I'm willing to be even more flexible. That if you wanted to, if your only option was to start, because like I can't commit consistently, but my only option is to go, schedule things with Samina at the end of your session with her, like my best guess is we could do 6 a.m. next Wednesday before or whatever. I'm willing to start the session earlier, but no earlier than 6 a.m.
Yeah. And so on my day off, I probably wouldn't want to do it any earlier than that anyway.
Yeah, but I'm saying your concern is that what if I didn't even get a day off or something?
Yeah, no, I definitely plan to take at least 1 day off a week. Like no, 6 days is my maximum. That's my limit.
Well, what I'm saying is because I can't commit for ongoingly every single day on short notice. I can go from a Wednesday at 7:15 to a Friday to you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can't my word that to that because I have other appointments.
Yeah.
But what I can give my word to is I can give my word just for you to say, even if I have an appointment at 7:15,
Yeah.
I could still, start a session with you at 6 a.m.
And do 1 hour then.
Well, we would do at least that, right? 6 a.m. to 7. Well, yeah, 1 hour, 7 a.m. But I know that I would make a request of somebody that's on my 7:15 calendar, ask them if we could start a little bit later because that person would be most likely All Addictions Anonymous, an addict, or something else that's free. So I could definitely reschedule the person if I have notice. Like I'm not gonna like, oh, he just told me yesterday, sorry, Trevor, who pays me $500 tomorrow morning, got to move you forward.
Yeah.
Right.
And so then, and we'd obviously keep it to like one full session. We wouldn't split it up hour here, hour there. It would be
No.
yeah, one full session. And it would help you if I have the same day of the week, if possible, to have that same day off. That would help too.
Well, it helps me help you because if I don't get that commitment from you, then you're at risk of other people scheduling in on that date.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to try and, when I meet with her, say if I can pick a day off and have that same day off, and then we can, and it doesn't matter what day, any day of the week or weekend, does that matter to you? Or
Let me pause.
like Saturday or?
Well, my preference is it's not Saturday or Sunday.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
but if it becomes like that's the only way to make this work for you, then I will be a yes.
Okay. So not a weekend. Okay.
I'm just saying, you just, if you can make it not a weekend, great. If you can't, and you've made it an effort, you just won't work for you, then yeah, I'll just do it.
Okay. So now, yeah.
So what day were you thinking on a weekend? Sunday?
Well, a Saturday, if I'm off on a Saturday, it would help with, if I potentially also am available for bookings at this new place in Smith, the new town where I got a connection in. This guy opened a new business there, and I'll go and work there. I have a slot.
Yeah,
there.
yeah. Here's what a lot of people make the mistake of. Samina did this too. You schedule your business with your well-being first. You schedule your family commitments. You schedule everything first, and then you tell the calendar, right, when they can book. It's not the other way around. You're like acting like I'm just available, you know, and thinking that if you're not, you're going to lose a client, when that is exactly does not happen. But that's what you're thinking. You just got to ask yourself, what do you want? And we start scheduling our life with what do we want? So in other words, trust that you're not really going to lose a client because you were only available Saturday last minute.
Yeah, what I'm trying to say is, because it's a retail store and as well as a few other things, and it's weekend, I got in first, and I chose the prime spot on a Saturday when there's more business and traffic going in.
Smart.
So I have a nice Saturday slot there. So Saturdays are off for me. That would be ideal to have sessions with you, but for you it's not ideal because.
But I already told you it's not ideal. But I'm just asking, if it was a Saturday, what time?
Oh,
what time do you see your first client in there?
Oh, I only have to head out at a little after 10 a.m. So I could do like 7.
So we could still do a 7:15.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm a yes if that is what has to happen. Yeah.
Okay, so that would work.
I'm just saying I prefer you look for other dates, but if that's the date that we can get guaranteed consistency and it's the only date, then I'm a yes.
Okay.
And I especially like it that it's 7:15 rather than 6 a.m. Like it's not my first choice to do 6 a.m. But I'm also, want to make this work for you in a way that doesn't, I don't want you coming to my sessions tired.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not good. That just makes us take a little longer to get into the vortex.
Yeah.
So if you say yes, the payment terms are done, and now you're hearing from me, yes, I will commit to 12 Saturdays in a row starting at every other Saturday for 12 weeks, being at 7:15 a.m. The first Saturday being what? Let's pick the first Saturday now, tentatively.
That I don't know. That I'm not, I can't.
If you had to guess, I know you don't know. You put it out there so that the universe can start making it happen for you. I know you don't know, so we just start with a guess. We know that Saturday's your preference. Let's just put one out there, knowing that you could reach out to Samina and say, I actually want to start sooner if that's possible, Samina. Is that possible? Get it? So we just put a date there that's tentative only.
And then if I need to change, how much notice?
I want to ask you, you create the agreement. How much notice will you give us as an absolute minimum?
It's like trying to foresee how everything's, the furniture, the clothing, all this other stuff, which I can't foresee how it's
right. So based upon what you can't foresee,
okay,
what is the amount of notice that you can give based upon the fact that you can't see?
Okay, maybe 5 days. I'm just sucking out of my thumb. I don't know.
Okay, I got a counter offer. Let's go 72 hours, 3 days.
Sure, that would be better.
Okay,
yeah.
3 days, right? That's my counter offer, right? I can make it even better than that.
Yeah.
So you'll give us at least 3 days notice to reschedule.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's reasonable.
Okay. Yeah. As for a start date, and the first, will it be a session with you first, and then Samina, or Samina first and you first?
Yeah, we changed it. It makes more sense. Like in the offer that we're putting to the public, it's going to start with me. I'm the consult strategy guy, like finding out what's really going on in your life right now in this moment, and then boom, that starts to set you up and gives Samina, you know, an energy of preparation for whatever she may be doing in her session. That might be like an implementation session, but it'll be supporting whatever it was that came up in our session that you feel you want to be like working further on with Samina.
Okay.
So again, it could be anything because again, I'm preparing Samina for those sessions. She doesn't just wing in her sessions. I wing my sessions. Samina prepares by consulting with me. You know, some of the 2 hours she earns from me is actually talking about you in the morning. And that's okay. There's 30 minutes talking about Andrew. I just edited a video for Andrew. That's like she just ate up another hour. So there's things that go on behind the scenes that I'm now telling you about that have it so that Samina's prepared.
Okay. So Samina sessions is more of implementation tools and things like that.
No, I'm going to say this. It can be. We completely are there to like not be a cookie cutter. Like you don't even know what it is you want to be working on in your life. Maybe it's like I want to get out in the dating scene and you can help me in how to market myself to get, you know, we have no idea what's going to come up that you want to be like pursuing for that week, let's say. Like for whatever reason, all of a sudden I just feel this desire that I want to do this.
Yeah.
Right? Just like 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, all of a sudden I'm like, I really want to get into finally personally studying all this Facebook ad training. I'm ready now, I think. Right? I had no idea when that was going to happen. I bought the training like over the last year. I you know, but I knew I was going to, the time was coming. That's why I bought the training. You know what I mean? But I don't exactly know when I'm going to feel like, oh, wow, it's here now, right now. You're smiling. You love that. We can't control the spirit. That's what I hate about cookie cutter programs, right? It's like these cookie cutter programs were created by people because that was the process they went through, and there seems to be no flexibility to like be flexible and adapt and open and like just create from nothing.
Yeah.
You know, where are we going now? You know, based upon what the client is expressing.
Okay.
Right. So maybe it's an implementation. It could be. Maybe it's like there's something you want to get your success stories, start getting testimonials, you know, like how we were like somebody was helping you get people to get sessions in your business. It's like, it's kind of like we're going to be whoever we got to be, you know, without compromising our values. You don't help people steal money and stuff, but you know what I mean? Just everything you've experienced, except that it's a lot more open now. It's not a structured program.
Yeah.
Right? It's like you already got integrity. Now we're just like, we don't have to train you on empowering context or Abraham Hicks this or the placemat process. And, you know, it's just like, what do you want to work on? We already have the tools. You already have the tools. We're just more like supporting you, keeping the vision and the commitment alive to implement on those tools you already have and the ones you don't have, like whatever it takes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, like at the end of every session we have, I'll be getting your alignment. So, in your session coming up next week with Samina at this time, what I'm hearing you say is this would be a good area for Samina to be prepared for, right? Because you might say,
you said something about next week with Samina's session.
No, I'm just saying as an example, if you had a session with me, I'll be ending this session, making sure that you're not coming into the following week's session with Samina wondering what's going to happen.
Okay.
That's what you did in Integrity Choices and Mission Marketing because it's just a program. It's not consulting as intensively on your life and making you the creation of the program.
Okay.
It's your program being created by you. We're just kind of listening to you.
Okay.
And then and then it's like, let's do this.
Okay.
So look, can I guarantee that you're always going to be 100% certain that, yeah, next Wednesday I want to do this with Sabina? No, because you can't be. But I think you're going to be pretty clear.
Okay.
Right? You're not going to come into every week like, oh, I got no control of my life. I wonder what's going to happen. What's important to me this Wednesday, right? It's not like that.
Yeah.
You know, you're an enlightened human being now who is not paralyzed by like crisis energy that was just permeating your whole experience of life when we first met. Right? You have a lot more clarity.
Okay. Okay, sounds good. So tomorrow, just usual. We'll just have the meeting. No, I don't have to. Anything I should prepare or think of, or just leave. Just.
Oh no! Now that we know we have this new dynamic, oh my God! No preparation at all. It's going to be a beautiful adventure tomorrow. One of my favorite type of sessions when it's like, oh my God, what we had intended to happen isn't going to be happening because that problem's already solved sooner than we had anticipated, right? Oh, or it seems to be solved. Let's still dig deeper on that. Let's explore it further. How do we leverage that opportunity into more opportunities? And I don't know what's going to happen, but this is one of those beautiful surprises. I love it when we can truly come in, you know, both of us, you know, wondering what's going to happen. What's this going to be about? I love it. This is just one of those surprise gifts, not something to be like postponed. No, it just means we're going to be talking about something else because the agenda and intention got fulfilled during the week.
Okay.
Unless, right? Remember the definition is you don't always have to keep your word. You could make a request and say, Scott, I hear you. And may I make a request? If you say no, I'll show up on the call. But if not, you know, here's my request. Can we reschedule the date for this date? And you can make that request, but it better be specific. And then if you want to do that, I'm open to that.
Okay.
What do you want to do?
In terms of the date?
Do you want to still have our session tomorrow, or do you want to make a request of me to reschedule it?
Oh, I don't even know. Like I don't have an agenda for tomorrow, really. Like I don't have a real agenda. So that's why I was kind of asking you what you recommend, because now I don't know what to work on tomorrow or expect, or I don't have an agenda. So
that's fine.
Like maybe a little bit on my business, if there's anything, maybe a bit of.
Well, I'm just saying, there's no right or wrong. I'm saying you can make a request. Can I reschedule that date? Well, first of all, what did we already agree that? What is the start date of your first session with me in the 2 grand program? Did we get a tentative date yet?
No, and I can't.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. I skipped that. I ADHD'd myself. So just pick a tentative Saturday for now. What do you want the first Saturday to be? Which ideally, you know, no, there's no ideally, because we know you're going to pay Sabina the 2 grand period. So you can pick any date. You can start next week because we know you're good.
I'm actually not ready to pick a date at all. I can't do it now. It's just not. I'm not feeling it. I'm getting anxious now.
Okay. All right.
Can't do it.
Yeah. It's good. So what you're committing to, then I want to be clear so I know what I'm committing to so that I don't get the anxiousness that you're having, right? So I get it. You can't commit right now, right? To that. I get it. So what do I need to commit to? Because it's not complete to say, yes, Sabina's going to get her $2,000 before October 1st, but I haven't committed to something in return. Like, give me something to commit to. Even if it's not a date. You see what I mean?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't even. Like, do I need a? I don't even know if I need another commitment from your end. Like, I don't know.
So do you have any idea of when the first session will probably start at the latest? Are we going to start this December or sooner?
Sooner than that.
See what I mean? So you do know something. That's my point.
Yeah.
So just give me a date. So it's sooner than, notice how you went, yeah, sooner than December. I'm just asking for a guess, right? A tentative date that we can reschedule, even as long as you give me 3 days notice, in rescheduling.
Okay, so if a Saturday works out, then I'm going to say October 3rd.
Okay. So let's put it down. October 3rd, tentative first appointment.
Okay.
That'll either occur or you give me 3 days notice with a request to reschedule the date. Does that feel peaceful, Andrew? No anxiousness in that? See, if we don't have something specific to shoot for, the challenge is you just keep putting off this commitment that'll change your life. It just keeps put off, put off, put off, put off. I honor that you're not ready to just fully commit to the date, but we want to have a direction to move into here, right? See, that's good. October 3rd. Cool. With the understanding, if anything changes, that you could just reach out within 3 days, within 72 hours or less, with a request to reschedule that first date. And Samina, make a note of this. You just put this in writing, send a message to him. Mm-hmm. Between you and him, email just confirming the agreement in writing.
Okay.
And when does Samina need to give you an electronic invoice for the 2,000 plus HST? What's the latest she has to get that invoice to you for you to be able to make the payment with no stress?
Maybe say 2 days after payment, or whenever that. Yeah.
No. You always give the invoice first in business.
Oh.
So.
Oh, maybe the day before payment.
Okay, so what you're saying, it doesn't matter. So what date are you promising to pay at the absolute latest again?
I haven't figured that out. Yeah, I'm getting anxious now. I'm getting really anxious now.
Okay.
I don't know why. It's
okay. So that's your pattern. You do that all the time. It's okay. It's not the first time this happens. It happens every session.
Maybe I'm being my button. I don't know. I'm just getting.
Doesn't matter. You know what? You can still send a message tomorrow saying no, right? I'm going to stress you out now because I want a real business agreement happening here. So, and then you could just say no tomorrow. It was too stressful. It's no problem. We're really close here, buddy, to getting the specifics here. It's probably something to do with you don't like committing, right? And it's getting connected, whatever. I'm just saying, whether you like it or not, you're going to commit or you're not, and you're going to lose this opportunity or you're going to gain this opportunity, and we don't care. So if you're going to let stress and all that be your reason, then that you have every right to do that. So I'm going to say this, what I already said that you agreed to, peacefully, you felt like anytime before October 1st, you would pay that $2,000. That's what I prefer. I said honor before October 1st, and you said that sounds good, I believe. But if you want, you could say the first date starts. See, here's what I don't want happening is you say, yeah, I'm going to do it. And then 3 days before you reschedule the appointment as you're allowed to. And then you also decide I'm going to reschedule my payment too.
Yeah.
We just want, if it's a yes, what's the absolute latest? You're giving your word to Samina that she's going to get that 2,000 plus HST. I get that you don't care about the invoice. That doesn't really matter before or after. I hear you. But just give her a promise. If you end up being a yes, she will get the 2,000 plus HST on or before what date? whether you show up for your first session then or not, she's still getting it.
Okay.
So I think what would make sense is if you're tentatively your first session that you're saying is going to be, what was it, October 3rd?
Third.
Well, then I would say that the payment is made, sometime before August 3rd, contingent upon
All
Right?
pardon?
the 2 months before.
No, sorry, whatever the date of your first session is, you're saying it's October 3rd, so that
Yeah.
you pay at least 24 hours before October 3rd. The point is, but with this contingency that I've always said, this is all contingent upon, nothing weird happens and all of a sudden the money that was coming from the house, the 80 grand plus, all of a sudden something weird happens and it doesn't come to you and it's delayed for some unforeseeable reason. That's completely different, because this whole deal is contingent upon, you have the money and like through the house. Like if you didn't have that money through the house, then there's no way you'd feel good about saying yes to this $2,000.
Yeah.
Right? So we're not going to hold you to something, because the spirit of the agreement is you've got the money only because of the house being sold. Right? Your only excuse not to pay before October 3rd, based upon the fact you told me the closing date is September, second week of September, that means you're holding onto the money for 2 weeks anyway. Like, you've got the money. There's no reason not to pay it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, in other words, you can't change your mind.
Yeah. Okay, so then
like you owe the 2,000 contractually. You owe the 2,000 as soon as you give your word by that date. If this house sells, right? And if the house sells, and then you change your mind, I'm saying you still owe the 2,000.
Yeah.
And you got a whole year to figure out how to best utilize or reschedule it in the event you change your mind, kind of.
Yeah.
You don't allow yourself to change your mind here. If that's the case, Sabina would rather you say, don't do the deal then, because now you're going to give her this false hope in a real sensitive, financial, vulnerable time.
Yeah.
Like, her financial situation is way worse than you. She's got no fucking house assets. She's got no assets. And I'm just saying, either you're going to do this or you're not. But don't.
Yeah.
The harm you would do to Sabina if you just all of a sudden change your mind, it would throw her off for 4 days. You go into a downward spiral, because she's human and she's fragile financially.
Yeah.
But she doesn't need you to do this. Like, it's just like she just needs you to either say we're doing this or we're not doing this, and these are the terms.
Okay. So what about September 25? By then, that should all be. Is that enough time before October 3rd, or what do you think?
No, that's why I'm telling you. Yes, of course. Of course. I'm just saying the absolute latest. This is a business agreement. We're going to say on or before October 1st, contingent upon, the house selling. So we always give you that benefit of the doubt. If something weird happens, like there's a fire in the house or something blows and you don't get the money from the house, we don't want you to pay us, because that's inhumane.
Yeah.
That's a very specific act of God clause, and the only one we'd say, don't pay us, because the spirit of why you're saying yes is we all believe that the house is selling.
Yeah.
Right? And if it doesn't, then okay. Sabina would be upset, but at least you didn't screw her over by giving her false hope and just changing your mind because you felt like it.
Yeah.
That would just be so hurtful. So either be a yes or be a no. So do you understand? If it's a yes, you could sleep on it, send a text in the morning before we talk, that's fine. But if it's a yes, then it means she's getting that 2,000 if the house sells and you got the money before October 1st.
Yeah.
Right? And whether you even show a good faith basis to reschedule or not, she's owed the money.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then you'd invoice like on or before that time. Send me an invoice and
Yeah, you mentioned it doesn't matter to you, but yeah, she'll make sure she has the invoice sent to you. What's the earliest you could possibly send it? I think you just said it, September 25th.
Yeah, or even 21st. That's the beginning of the week. How about the 21st, if that's better?
Yeah, so Samina, how about you promise to get him a proper QuickBooks invoice by September 20th at the latest?
Okay. Yeah.
So can somebody tell me, or sorry, this is teaching both of you guys how to do business agreements. So, but I mean, Samina knows, but could the two of you just say back to each other what the agreement is? If Andrew says yes, if he sends a text saying yes, we know what that he said yes to. So the two of you get clear, Samina.
Okay, so from my understanding from the notes I made, the agreement is if contingent that Andrew says yes, sends the text message saying yes, is so you'll have the the payment in full 2,000 plus HST paid on or before October 1st, and he's saying by 21st you should have it paid in full. So let's say before October 1st, and I'm promising to send him an invoice by September 20th at the latest, and then you'll book a tentative start date with Scott for October 3rd, with the understanding that if anything should change, he will reach out to reschedule that start date 72 hours prior to the scheduled date.
Yeah. And to be
Well,
clear, there's no penalty if he doesn't give me enough notice. Just to be clear, there's no penalty. You're just
penalty.
saying, give me 3 days notice. Go ahead.
Um, yeah, that's what I have. Is there anything else I'm missing?
Well, I think that sounds good to me. I think that covers everything.
Okay. So I'll send that to, yeah, in writing because memory is not reliable.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So, does your gut feel that you're going to be sending a yes answer?
Yeah, I'm thinking more like it's going to be a yes.
And let me ask this question, right? If it ended up being a no, looking back, what do you think the reason would have been that it ended up being a no?
I think I'm trying to foresee if the sessions are going to be painless and enjoyable and engaging, if it's going to extract out of me what I need extracted. I'm just thinking, am I going to really be inspired and motivated with each session and whatever the tasks or homework is? And it's, is it going to be really more of an engaging, motivating thing to push me even more to doing what I love to do? And maybe that's just a bit of a fear concern or something, or I don't know, maybe it's anxious.
I can promise you some of the sessions will be painful. Right? So, it's just better I promise that. That's never the intention. It's very rare, but sometimes that can happen.
maybe a better word is, I don't know, maybe keeps me engaged, like keeps me there. My mind is there, my attention's there, holds my attention, keeps me engaged and keeps my attention. Maybe that's a better way of putting it.
And see, that's up to you, right?
You know what my
Because
attention span is like?
if you're, I bet. Well, here's the thing: when you're paying $2,000, you're going to come to these sessions coming from the place of I'm going to get my $2,000 worth. This is why you don't work with free people.
Okay.
Right? A person who's not paying would be wondering about that.
Okay.
But once you pay that 2,000 and you just let it go,
Okay.
now it's like it's up to you. Are you going to come into these sessions, try to give us a hard time? No, you're going to come into these sessions, coming in. I'm going to get my value here.
Yeah. I'm thinking of my attention span. You know what? Sometimes you got to really get straight through to me quickly, because if it takes too long, my mind kind of sometimes.
I know.
So I'm just a little bit.
And that's why I want to be clear that the offer says that your sessions with me are anywhere from about an hour to 2. Like I just had my client Trevor just yesterday Friday, right? He pays me $500 for an hour to 2 of my time. Our session ended at 1 hour and 12 minutes, and we're done. Like, we're not here to just suck up time, are we? We're there to get to a profound result. When you realize we're there, we're not gonna talk all on top of that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably maybe it's not a realistic concern, but maybe I'm just thinking I gotta focus, I gotta be motivated, I gotta stay with it and really make the most of the sessions. But that could just be an over concern, being a bit anxious or something. I don't know. Maybe it's
yeah. No, you're answering honestly, because I'm saying if you were to say no, which you weren't even expecting to say no, I'm just saying if you were, what would the reason be?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know if that helps or not. But...
Yeah, it does, because it's because you're being honest. I'm going to give you another incentive, but this incentive expires within 1 hour of when our call ends. If you send Samina the message yes within 1 hour, and look, if you feel stressed and all that, an hour from when the call ends, then don't say yes. Okay? I'm just saying, because the offer we've given you is tremendously fucking amazing. But as an additional incentive, whether you feel whatever, if you send Samina a message within 1 hour, and the reason why I'm putting this new clause in, because I already know Samina's going to be worried now that she heard, this. She's going to be worried right up until the moment you actually just give her a yes or no tomorrow. So I want to make it an incentive for you to say yes within 1 hour. So if we don't get a message from you, we know that just means it's not a yes, but it still could be a yes tomorrow. And Samina will just be in a little bit of stress about it until you give your final yes or no. You follow? Here's the bonus. If you say yes within 1 hour of when we finish this call, you're going to get a bonus weekly session with either myself or Samina between now, like meeting a maximum of 1 between now and before and when the contract even starts. So just like a touch base, so you could reach out. You don't have to think like if when you're living your life, you're just like, shit, it would be nice to talk to Samina. It'd be nice to talk to Scott. Oh, but I can't because it's like that's not till October 3rd. Like that's 2 months away, eh? 2 months away is when this thing starts. So if you say yes within an hour, we'll give you the opportunity to get a bonus weekly session if you feel you want it. Like, it doesn't mean I'm saying that you have to. It's just like, if all of a sudden 2 weeks, next week or 2 weeks from now, you're like, I want to talk to Scott. I want to talk with Samina. I want to set up a session with them. That's one of the bonuses I can have, maximum of 1 per week before we actually start on October 3rd. I'd like to take advantage of that. and we'll make every good faith attempt to be able to say yes and schedule it. But no matter what, you'll definitely be. I don't know what to say. We'll make it happen because Samina is extremely flexible, and you know that I'm willing to see as like 6 a.m. if we had to. So if something comes up in your life, you need a perspective on it, legal or whatever. You've got that just as these bonuses to draw from as our way of saying, thank you for giving Samina a yes or no within an hour.
Yeah.
Clear?
Yeah.
And I would also suggest that we actually do reschedule tomorrow's appointment then.
Okay.
Right? Because if you did say no, I don't want you to have to feel the pressure of being on a call with me the very next day.
And then if
So that'd be a very difficult decision. If you said no to the offer and then the very next day you're jumping on a call with me, you're going to feel weird.
Yeah. So
I'm saying, yeah, let's not do the session tomorrow. Let's reschedule it. And we could either reschedule it now or we could reschedule it later.
okay, unless I give you a yes within the hour, then what do you recommend then? Then do we keep it or do we not keep it?
It'd be the same. It'd be the same. If you say yes, I don't think you need to have the session tomorrow. Unless you want to anyway.
Yeah, because I don't have a specific agenda, so.
That's why I'm saying that, because you've said that, that's the third time you said it, that you don't really have a pressing, clear reason to have the session.
Yeah.
But I'd have it if I had to because the frickin' thing expires, right? So I'm just saying, I just put in a bonus anyway. You're not losing anything.
Yeah.
So I just feel either reschedule it now or reschedule it later, and I think you'll get more value out of that session.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm not penalizing you. I'm not saying, yeah, but if you say yes, you get the session.
Yeah.
No, I don't think you benefit maximally or optimized if we have it tomorrow or we have it later. Whether you say yes to the offer or not, you're still getting it. I promised it.
Okay. Sure. Yeah. We can do that.
It's whatever you prefer. What do you prefer?
I'm just thinking. I had a thought. What do you? You mentioned sometimes I get anxious. If I don't have, say I decide, as in hypothetically speaking, tomorrow morning, hey, let's do a session on anxiousness. Does there need to be something specific I'm anxious about, or like, is it even possible just to work on anxiousness in general? Like, is it worth even doing that?
No, it's not, because then you're asking me to go poke in and dig for negative when it's not organically being expressed by you.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't want to just go poking for the sake of poking, like when right now you're not feeling this anxiousness or anxiety, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't go poking for something when it's not there and then we're just trying to guess what it would mean, or let me traumatize you for a moment here for a greater good. Yeah, no.
Okay, so yeah, if that's, maybe we can reschedule, no problem. Did you want to do that like now or later?
Yeah, I prefer that, absolutely.
Okay.
Let's take a look here. Today's August 2nd. You pick the date. Give me a date you want to reschedule for if it was 7:15 a.m. and let me see what my calendar shows.
Okay. This is going to sound weird. 2 days later on a Wednesday, but then again, I don't know what's going to come up on Wednesday, if anything. Is that too soon?
You know what's bizarre? Wednesdays were booked with another person and we just rescheduled them to another date for this particular Wednesday. So let's do a tentative date for this Wednesday at 7:15 a.m.
Okay.
Your spirit might have tapped into something and we both don't exactly understand it. But yeah, 7:15 tentative. You could definitely cancel last minute on that, okay? Like meaning give me 24 hours then on that one.
Okay.
Yeah, at least give me 24 hours on that one. And if you're giving me the 24 hours, right? Do this though. Give me 3 tentative potential dates that I could say yes to. Like I don't like to just cancel and then now we're like having to chase each other down and like cancel and then give me 2 or 3 dates and times that you're requesting as a possibility to reschedule. And then I look at my calendar and tell you which of those 3 are available, if not all of them.
Okay.
Because you already know it's either going to be 7:15 or earliest 6 a.m.
Okay. Same time on Friday, 7:15. This Friday.
If the appointment's on Friday, it turns out this Friday I have a client.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a paying client appointment. It just happens to be at 7:15.
Maybe the following Wednesday.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So when can you confirm which Wednesday it is? Or we're confirming it's next Wednesday for now. And then if it's not, it would be the next Wednesday, correct?
Yeah.
Samina, could you, after we're done here, just book off both appointments in the calendar for this Wednesday and next Wednesday for Andrew, but it's actually not both Wednesdays.
Okay.
It's just so that nobody else books the next Wednesday over the next few days.
Yeah, it's 7:15, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I noticed in Acuity there was an accident. I think it still shows that Andrew had an appointment this coming Friday. So make sure you cancel that if it's still in Acuity, Samina.
Yeah, I know. I will.
Okay, good. Okay. I feel complete, guys. You feel complete, you guys?
Yeah, I do.
I think so.
Yeah. So the time is 12:20.
Yeah.
If we hear a yes by 1:22, you get the bonus opportunities to have the weekly whatever, between now and when we officially start on October 3rd.
Okay.
All right, buddy.
All right. Thanks for your time.
This has been awesome.
Bye, Andrew.
Bye. Bye, Samina. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.